A quiet but powerful shift is rippling through the heart of Europe. Behind closed doors and beneath the surface of official rhetoric, public opinion in Germany appears to be moving in a direction that challenges years of hardened diplomatic posture. A new survey suggests that most Germans now favour renewed dialogue with Moscow, an unexpected signal at a time when the Ukraine conflict continues to reshape European politics, economies, and alliances. Before we begin, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our in-depth coverage of global affairs. According to a recent poll conducted by YouGov and reported by the German press agency, dpa, a clear majority of Germans support direct negotiations between German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and Russian President Vladimir Putin aimed at bringing the Ukraine conflict to an end. The survey found that 58% of respondents either somewhat or strongly back the idea of direct talks. By contrast, just over one quarter expressed opposition, while the remaining participants were undecided. The poll was carried out online over 4 days last week and included responses from more than 2,000 people across Germany, offering a broad snapshot of public sentiment. One of the most striking findings lies within Chancellor Merz's own political base. Among voters aligned with his conservative bloc, 64% expressed support for opening direct channels of communication with Moscow. This level of approval stands in notable contrast to Merz's own cautious stance on diplomacy with Russia. Since taking office, the Chancellor has voiced reservations about restarting bilateral talks, particularly outside of existing international frameworks. His position reflects a broader European approach adopted after the escalation of the Ukraine conflict in 2022, when many EU states sharply reduced or froze high-level engagement with Moscow. Speaking to reporters during a visit to Abu Dhabi last week, Merz reiterated that he remains opposed to direct negotiations conducted outside the trilateral talks involving Russia, the United States, and Ukraine. These discussions, currently taking place without formal European Union participation, have raised concerns among EU leaders about being sidelined in decisions that directly affect the continent's security. At the same time, Merz indicated that he would not rule out participation entirely. He stated that he would be prepared to engage in dialogue if Germany and the EU were granted a seat at the table, signalling openness under specific conditions rather than outright rejection. Within Germany's political landscape, opposition figures have increasingly called on the government to reconsider its approach. Members of the Alternative for Germany, AfD party, have urged the Chancellor to take a more proactive role in reaching out to Moscow. AfD parliamentary co-leader Tino Schruppala publicly appealed for direct engagement, arguing that diplomacy is essential not only for peace, but also for Europe's economic stability. He warned of long-term industrial decline, linking Germany's economic stagnation and high energy costs to the disruption of trade ties with Russia, particularly in the energy sector. Germany's economy has faced persistent headwinds since 2022, including sluggish growth and elevated production costs, developments that many analysts associate with reduced access to comparatively inexpensive Russian gas. A broader European reassessment, Germany is not alone in reconsidering its position. French President Emmanuel Macron has recently emerged as one of several European leaders advocating for renewed engagement with Russia. Macron has openly expressed concern that Europe risks being marginalized as negotiations progress elsewhere. In this context, Paris and Moscow have quietly resumed technical-level diplomatic contacts, a development confirmed earlier this week by Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov. While these contacts stop short of high-level political dialogue, they mark a notable thaw after years of limited interaction. Peskov also noted that neither Macron nor Merz has yet initiated direct contact with President Putin, despite the practical ease of doing so. He emphasized that Moscow has consistently signaled openness to direct communication if European leaders choose to engage. Public opinion versus political caution. The YouGov poll highlights a widening gap between public sentiment and official policy. As the conflict drags on and its economic and political consequences deepen, a growing share of the German public appears to favor dialogue over continued isolation. Whether this shift will translate into a tangible change in Berlin's foreign policy remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that the debate within Germany and across Europe is evolving. Calls for negotiation are becoming more frequent, and public opinion is increasingly difficult for policymakers to ignore. As Europe navigates one of its most complex geopolitical crises in decades, Germany finds itself at a crossroads between caution and engagement, principle and pragmatism. The voices of its citizens are now adding new weight to the discussion, suggesting that diplomacy may once again take center stage. If you found this analysis valuable, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who want a deeper understanding of global events. Your support helps us continue delivering clear, structured, and in-depth reporting on the stories shaping our world.